Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow and you can't die. No disease, no aging, no accidents. You are completely immortal. But there's a catch. Everyone else continues aging normally. Your parents, your partner, your best friend, your future children, they grow older. You don't. Now here's the real question. Would immortality still feel like a blessing? Or would it slowly become the loneliest curse ever imagined? Stay with me, because the answer is far darker and more fascinating than you think. The first 10 years, the superpower phase. At first, it would feel incredible. You stop aging at your prime, maybe 25, maybe 30. You heal instantly. You never get sick. You never wrinkle. You take risks no one else could. Skydiving without fear. Deep sea diving without panic. Climbing the tallest mountains just because you can. You would become living proof that death is optional. But here's what nobody talks about. People would notice. Your friends would start to look older. You wouldn't. At first they'd joke. Wow, what's your skincare routine? 10 years later, it wouldn't be funny anymore. The first goodbye. Let's say you're 30 forever. Your best friend is now 40, then 50, then 60. Their face changes, their body slows down, but yours doesn't. You attend their 70th birthday, looking exactly the same as you did at their 30th. People whisper, "Is that their child?" No, that's their friend. And then one day, you attend their funeral, and you look exactly the same. That's when it hits you. You are not aging with the world. You are staying behind while everyone else moves forward. Love becomes impossible. Now let's talk about the hardest part. Falling in love. Imagine meeting someone extraordinary. You build a life together. 10 years pass. You still look 30. They're 40. 20 years pass. You're still 30. They're 50. You watch the person you love most in the world slowly transform while you remain untouched by time. They might even start resenting you. You represent everything they are losing. Youth, energy, time. Would you still fall in love knowing how it ends? Or would you stop letting people get close? Because here's the brutal truth. Immortality turns every relationship into a countdown. The 100-year mark, society notices. Let's say you fake your age. You move cities every few decades. New identity, new life. But technology improves. Facial recognition, DNA, databases. Eventually, someone connects the dots. There are photos of you from 100 years ago, and you look the same. Governments would want answers. Scientists would want samples. Religious groups would call you a miracle or a demon. You would become the most studied being in human history. Would you hide forever, or would you reveal yourself? And if you did, would humanity worship you or cage you? The psychological shift, here's where it gets terrifying. Humans think in decades. Immortals think in centuries. You'd stop caring about small problems, traffic, deadlines, office politics. Meaningless. You have infinite time. But infinite time creates a strange problem. Urgency disappears. Why write the book now? You have 300 years. Why travel today? You have 500. Procrastination becomes eternal. Ironically, immortality could make you accomplish less, because pressure is what makes humans act. Without death, does motivation survive? Watching civilization rise and fall. Fast forward 300 years. Everyone you've ever known is gone. You've lived through wars, pandemics, economic collapses. You've seen countries form and dissolve. Language evolves, slang changes. You start to feel like an outsider in your own species. You remember things no one else does. Imagine casually saying, "I remember when smartphones were invented," and the person replying, "What's a smartphone?" Because technology moved on. You become a walking history book no one asked for. Eventually, even memories blur, After 500 years, how many faces could you realistically remember? Would you even recall your parents' voices? Or would time slowly erase them? Immortality doesn't just extend life, it stretches grief across centuries. The wealth advantage. But let's flip the coin. There are advantages. You could invest $1,000 and wait 300 years. Compound interest would turn you into the richest human alive. You could master every skill, learn every language, become a world-class musician, scientist, philosopher, pilot. You would have time to truly understand the universe. You could watch humanity land on Mars, maybe even other galaxies. For the first time in history, you could see the long-term consequences of human decisions. But here's the catch. You would always be alone at the top, because no one else would stay long enough to join you. The 1,000-year question, after 1,000 years, would you still feel human, or would you feel like something else entirely? Human emotions are built around scarcity. Moments matter because they end. Sunsets are beautiful because they fade. Life is meaningful because it's limited. If you have infinite tomorrows, does today lose its value? Would birthdays mean anything? Would anniversaries? Or would time blur into one endless, indistinguishable stretch? At some point, you might stop counting years altogether. The darkest scenario. Here's the thought no one wants to consider. What if humanity goes extinct? Asteroid, climate collapse, nuclear war. Everyone else is mortal. You're not. The planet becomes silent. Cities crumble. Forests reclaim buildings. And you remain alone for millions of years. Immortality without civilization, without conversation, without connection. That's not a superpower. That's eternal isolation. The unexpected twist. But what if immortality changes how you love? Instead of clinging to people forever, you learn to appreciate the temporary nature of everyone else. You become the ultimate storyteller, the ultimate preserver of memory. You carry the legacy of thousands of lives within you. You become humanity's archive. And maybe your purpose shifts from living for yourself to living for everyone who can't anymore. In that way, immortality could become sacred, not because you escape death, but because you witness life. So, would you choose it? If someone offered you immortality right now, but everyone else aged normally, would you take it? Think carefully. You'd gain infinite time, but lose shared time. You'd gain invincibility, but lose equality. You'd gain eternity, but risk losing meaning. Maybe death isn't humanity's flaw. Maybe it's the very thing that gives life shape. Because without endings, there are no stories. And without stories, what are we? Here's the real twist. What if you already are immortal? Not physically, but through impact, through ideas, through the people you influence. Maybe true immortality isn't about never dying. Maybe it's about creating something that outlives you. So now I want to ask you, would you choose forever, or would you choose a meaningful finite life? Comment below. And if this made you question everything you thought about time, life, and existence, subscribe, because next time we're asking something even more dangerous. What if death is actually the upgrade?